Whitbrook. I'm the head of the Development Division of the Trade and Agriculture Directorate of the OECD. This is a very welcome opportunity for the OECD to have a dialogue with APEC, in this case on the subject of services and SMEs, both of which are policy areas that are very important to our members certainly, and also, as we know, to APEC. And we're going to look at the convergence of these two policy areas today in what I hope is a very useful and interactive discussion. Can I very warmly thank the Department of Trade and Industry of the Philippines for joining with us today in putting on this workshop. We very much appreciate their cooperation in putting this on. And I also want to specifically welcome Director Luis Catabayan, who has, in the absence of the Undersecretary, been stepped in at the very last minute, and we do very much appreciate it. The dialogue that we are having today seeks to explore the trade and trade-related policies that affect the participation of services SMEs in the global economy. International services SMEs are largely knowledge-intensive services producing information-intensive products. Such services, including legal services, accounting, engineering and a host of technical services, are vital inputs in global value chains. These sorts of services are also often regulated by government to ensure quality and safety standards. Although the opportunities for services SMEs to go global are many, the challenges and obstacles are also numerous. This dialogue will focus on the role of services trade policies in shaping the emergence of micro-multinationals and new opportunities for services SMEs, including what policies are particularly burdensome for services SMEs. Should governments encourage their trade activities, and if so, how? And what are the rationale, benefits and risks of such encouragement? Or should governments focus on bringing down entry barriers in local and international markets for everybody? These are sorts of the questions we hope to address today. We're very much hoping from interaction, not just from our distinguished panel members, but also from you, our audience, so that we can exchange viewpoints and ideas and hopefully help facilitate the policy environment in which many of us work. I'd like to now give the floor to Jerry Claveselis, our co-partner in this exercise, to say a few words before we give the floor to Director Catabayan. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Trudy, and good morning, everyone. For our foreign delegates, welcome to the Philippines, welcome to Cebu. As mentioned by Trudy, we are very grateful that this event this morning has been organized, particularly by the OECD, and we are very thankful to OECD for this because right now, by the way, I'm representing the APEC SME Working Group, although the chair of this year's APEC SME Working Group is US, and we have here Deputy Director from the US, Mr. Eric, and we're very glad that you're around. As you know, the theme for our APEC SME meetings this year is mainstreaming micro, small and medium enterprises in the global trade, and that will be the focus of discussion by our SME ministers comes September 25 in Iloilo City. And you must also be aware that during the ministers responsible for trade meeting in Boracay last month, they were able to come up with the so-called Boracay Action Agenda, which also focuses on the promotion and development of the micro, small and medium enterprises. So right now we are really working on the various concrete initiatives in response to that action agenda, wherein we will be able to promote more participation of the MSMEs in the global value chain. So we would like to take this opportunity to listen perhaps from the OECD representatives here on the experiences of the OECD countries as far as MSMEs in the services sectors are concerned, particularly with regards to the policy recommendations that we will be able to come up with. And also for our group, the APEC SME Working Group, together with the APEC SME Ministerial Meeting, if there will be some directions that maybe we can take on and as a follow-through of this Boracay Action Agenda, could be the future initiatives that our working group will be working on. So with this, again, we would like to express our thanks to the OECD for this initiative that they have just put forward for APEC. Thank you very much.
Good morning, in Cebuano, Maayong Buntag. Distinguished guests and speakers, colleagues in government, private sector, and academe, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to welcome all of you to the dialogue on services SMEs in the digital economy, opportunities and policy constraints. Services lie at the very hub of any economic activity in any society. It is essential in linking all sectors of the economy, including the final consumer. Thus, it is imperative to recognize that services are not peripheral activities, but rather integral parts of the society. It plays an increasingly important role in the global economy and the growth and development of countries. The share of services trade as a percentage of gross domestic product continuously grows among all APEC member economies. In the Philippines alone, the services sector accounted for 46.8% of the country's GDP for the first quarter of 2015, the majority of which may be attributed to the transportation, storage, and communication industries. Unemployment, preliminary records show that the services sector employs 54.2% of the country's workforce. Thus, it is considered as the Philippines' top economic driver. In this regard, I believe it is only proper that attention be accorded to the services sector, specifically as APEC continues to work towards the advancing work on this year's APEC priorities, particularly in fostering MSMEs participation in the regional and global market. As you may know, SMEs account for around 90% of businesses and more than 50% of employment worldwide. SMEs contributes to the creation of income and employment, both in rural and urban areas, ensuring a more equitable income distribution within the country. They provide the economy with a continuous supply of innovative ideas and skills which are necessary for the country's development. Thus, creating opportunities for SMEs in emerging markets is a key way to advance development, reduce poverty, and promote inclusive growth within the APEC region. In this day and age, however, SMEs find it more difficult to comply with burdensome regulations and red tape than larger firms. Sustaining and staying in power require keeping abreast with rapidly changing technology and consumer tastes, which necessitate significant human and financial resources. Barriers have been seen to revolve around the possibly inadequate benefits that SMEs can accrue relative to the investment and maintenance costs they will shoulder in engaging to e-business. The availability of ICT competencies within the firm and availability and cost of appropriate interoperable small firm systems, network infrastructure, and other internet-related support services are also considered to be pressing constraints to SMEs. Through this dialogue, we hope to be able to identify the barriers which hinder services firms, particularly SMEs, from engaging in trade activities regionally and globally. We also hope to establish the necessary actions APEC must take to encourage these firms to join the global market. With this, I am pleased to welcome everyone to this dialogue and wish everyone a productive and fruitful discussion. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that welcome and introduction. If I could ask the panellists for session one and the moderator to now join us on the podium, we'll get started. Thank you very much.